to direct Mayor Lamorand to rescind the withdrawal of the application for the SAFER grant and to take such action as is required by FEMA to accept and complete the requirements for the SAFER grant. And I'll pass this out at this time. And then I'd like to read it.
I need a support. I have a motion by Mr. Delo, supported by Mr. Stapleton, to approve a resolution to direct Mayor Lamorand to rescind the withdrawal of application for the SAFER grant and to take such action as required by FEMA to accept and complete the requirements for the SAFER grant. Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Delo.
By way of reading this resolution, we begin with, whereas the city of Taylor, like cities across America, is in the midst of a severe economic shortfall, and whereas the administration of the city of Taylor, in response to said shortfall, has chosen to lay off or terminate approximately 60% of the city's firefighters and paramedics, resulting in a drastic reduction in the city's ability to inspect, protect, and service the citizens of Taylor. And whereas the result of said layoffs and terminations has caused the closing of 2 of the city's fire stations, causing residents and their property in this city's northern and southern section to suffer conditions which render them less safe and more vulnerable to fire and accident-related calamities, and has increased the response time for medical and fire emergencies. And whereas the administration of the city of Taylor has caused Taylor to be removed from the Western Wayne County Mutual Aid Pact, thereby eliminating the protection that they afforded by the Dearborn Heights Fire Department to Taylor residents living north of I-94. And whereas the Downriver Mutual Aid communities have threatened to revoke Taylor's membership as a result of Taylor's no-contract arrangement with HealthLink, a medical transport company. And whereas the federal government has established a grant program, the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response, called SAFER, S-A-F-E-R, to assist localities facing difficult financial and manpower conditions akin to those being experienced in the city of Taylor. And whereas the city of Taylor administration and or its agents did apply for assistance through the SAFER grant, and said application was awarded to the city of Taylor in the amount of $8,194,016 over a 2-year period. And whereas the mayor of the city of Taylor originally approved applying for the SAFER grant, but subsequently, after the grant was approved and awarded by the federal agency, the mayor contacted the agency and unilaterally withdrew the application, thereby attempting to forfeit the $8,194,016 grant and allow that sum to be awarded to some other governmental entity. And whereas there is time remaining to rescind the withdrawal of the application by the mayor by sending a follow-up letter stating that the letter asking to withdraw the application was incorrect and that the city still desires and wants the SAFER grant. And whereas the charter of the city of Taylor, duties of the mayor, section 5.3L states, he shall exercise and perform all the administrative functions of the city that are imposed by law, this charter, or by any city ordinance or resolution not inconsistent with the provisions of the charter. And whereas the charter of the city of Taylor, duties of the mayor, section 5.3M states, he shall have such other powers and perform such other duties as may be prescribed by law this charter, or as may be required of him by ordinance or by direction of the council. And whereas Michigan compiled laws, MCL 117.3J states, in providing for the public peace, health, and safety, a city may expend funds or enter into contracts with a private organization, the federal or state government, a county, village, or township, or any other city for the safety of persons and property. And whereas the city of Taylor residents have surely suffered great loss to their peace of mind, health, and safety as a result of the reduction in firefighter staffing and the closing of 2 out of 3 Taylor fire stations. And whereas the residents of the city of Taylor would greatly benefit from the return of fire department staff made possible by accepting and utilizing the funds granted and available to the city of Taylor under the FEMA Safer Grant Award. Now therefore be it resolved that this Taylor City Council, in fulfillment of its charter-directed responsibilities to provide for the public health and safety of all Taylor residents, directs the mayor of the city of Taylor, Jeffrey Lamoran, to take all necessary and required steps to retract and rescind the withdrawal of the application for the Safer Grant Program forthwith, and to immediately draft and forward a letter of acceptance of the award as directed by the FEMA Safer Grant Department. And be it further resolved that the mayor of the city of Taylor shall make use of the federal Safer Grant funding to restore Taylor's fire department to its staffing levels as they existed at the time the grant application was submitted, and to maintain those staffing levels for the 2-year period covered by the Safer Grant funding. And now be it finally resolved, I'm sorry, I have missed one of the whereases. Whereas the charter of the city of Taylor in section 6.12, health and safety, determines the council shall see that provision is made for the public peace and health and for the safety of persons and property. And the final resolve is that all matters attendant hereto be conducted immediately to better assure the greatest possible access to public peace, health, and safety for every resident of the city of Taylor, and I so move.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair, I had a chance to review the resolution as proposed by Councilman Delo. The problem I have with it is that the things that the resolution is demanding are in fact outside the scope of the council's authority. Well, a couple of terms actually we've all heard, I'm not sure we don't necessarily understand them. But as written, the resolution I find violates the separation of powers. It's the council's job to legislate, it's the executive job to administer. Pursuant to our charter, the mayor is the chief administrative executive head of the city. And I'm referring to section 5.3 of the charter in front of you. Specifically, subsection I states, he, referring to the mayor, shall from time to time recommend to the council for adoption such measures as he may deem necessary or expedient for the successful operation of the city. J, in part states he, again referring to the mayor, is responsible for the efficient administration of all departments of the city government.